One of the most impressive shots from the Fantastic Four First Steps trailer was already perfected by James Gunn in his MCU swan song. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. While the MCU nailed the cinematic universe structure in the 2010s, their movies have always struggled in the visual department. This isn't surprising, as most MCU flicks go through a similar post-production process. Even though this does give them a cohesive nature in terms of visual and camera styles, this often limits the input of a director and cinematographer. However, in contrast to most MCU flicks, James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy succeeded in distinguishing itself from its peers. Moreover, Gunn already mastered one particular shot from the Fantastic Four First Steps trailer in GOTG Volume 3. At a time when CBMs were struggling with VFX issues, which mostly had to do with the impractical deadlines that were being put on the artists, James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was a breath of fresh air. Not only did the director and his crew nail the visual aspect of his MCU swan song, but Gunn and cinematographer Henry Braham excelled with the camera work, especially those including Adam Warlock. Like the Human Torch shot in the new The Fantastic Four First Steps trailer, in which the character's flames interact with the viewer's POV, Adam Warlock's ascent after Groot attempts to clench him leaves a similar trail. Although Gunn wasn't the first filmmaker to conceive such a shot, it further highlights why his works stand out among the rest of his MCU peers, as, unlike most directors for hires, the DC head was allowed to do his own thing. After a relatively quiet year from DC and Marvel, both comic book giants are set to face head-on with their big guns this July. While fans are excited to feast on Superman and the Fantastic Four First Steps, some viewers expressed concern over David Corenswet's close-up in the TV spot, and some speculated this might have to do with some unfinished CGI. But Gunn was quick to dismiss the misconception, as apart from the shot being completely practical, the director explained that close-up shots through wide lenses can often distort images via threads. There is absolutely zero CG in his face. People's faces can look different when you put a wide-angle lens up close. The background plate in Svalbard is 100% real, as is David. With a few more months to go, hopefully, Superman and the Fantastic Four First Steps will breathe new life into the oversaturated genre. Superman will hit theaters on DC's
July
11,
die-hard fans
2025.
are tired of the realistic Batman in the movies and want something more fantastical, like the comics and animations.
Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. When thinking of superheroes, action movies are usually the first thing that comes to mind. But not all of them stick to just that, especially when it comes to Batman. In the DC universe, he often leans into a more fantastical side, bringing in real fights and stepping away from the super-realistic style that many adaptations have gotten used to. The general public has gotten used to a more serious, even somewhat monotonous image of Batman, making it rare to see him like he is in the comics or animated universe. But could that change anytime soon? With DC's new direction, there's hope that James Gunn will bring adaptations that feel more true to what fans are eager to see. When superhero comics started making their way to the big screen, a lot shifted in the scene. Over the years, fans have witnessed numerous changes with many characters, often influenced by the direction of the films or the decisions made by producers and screenwriters. A prime example of this is Watchmen, which took a different approach than many expected. However, discussing the classic Batman is a bit more complicated. In films that have become iconic, like Christian Bale's The Dark Knight trilogy and Robert Pattinson's The Batman, audiences have seen a version of the hero that feels super real. While these takes have been interesting, fans are now craving something a little different. It feels like people are starting to get tired of watching the same version of Batman, one that has remained largely unchanged since the 2000s. With a new generation of fans emerging, maybe it's time for a fresh take. This conversation is already buzzing on social media, especially following James Gunn's announcement about the new phase of the DCU. When Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, directed by Zack Snyder, hit theaters, fans could get a taste of something different, especially with the intense fight scene in the warehouse. However, many viewers are eager to see the superhero taken to an even greater level, similar to his portrayal in the DCAU. When thinking about it, this aesthetic and more realistic tone that has become so familiar might have been a strategy to attract a broader audience, those who enjoy blockbuster hero films but aren't necessarily fans of the genre itself. It's almost like trying to fit Batman into a box to ensure commercial success. Whether it's in superhero movies or any adapted film, People want authenticity and loyalty to the source material. Gunn appears to be aware of this demand and has already hinted at what's in store for the new phase of the DCU. Maybe the audience's wishes will finally come true. In 2022, the CEO of DC Studios answered a fan's question online about the iconic character. Following Snyder's film, Batman made a return with Pattinson, but that production was separate from the main universe, similar to Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. However, according to Gunn, Batman will play a significant role moving forward. Narratively, Gunn appears to be heading in the right direction. To attain the consistency and success that the MCU has achieved, for example, he'll need to take on a supervisory role like Kevin Feige's, closely overseeing each project to ensure a cohesive vision. This approach would allow for a deeper exploration of Batman's dynamics with other heroes, particularly within the Justice League context. Gunn has also promised to create a universe with connections between films, series, animations, and even video games. With these developments, it's safe to say that there are real hopes for a superhero portrayed in a more fantastical setting. It's important to note that Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2 is in the works, and the director has hinted that the sequel will also have fantastical elements, though not completely detached from reality. However, this could offer a fresh opportunity for those who are open to exploring a different take on the hero story. James Gunn reveals the first Superman poster that has a retro charm with modern twist, setting high expectations for the 2025 blockbuster. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn has sent all DC fans into a frenzy by dropping the first official poster of Superman, the much-awaited movie that's set to release in 2025. The poster has set the tone for what Gunn is trying to do with the project, and it will certainly be monumental. James Gunn has finally given us the first poster of Superman, which features a breathtaking design that combines nostalgia with modern artistry. The poster essentially looks like it has a retro-inspired design, but most importantly, it feels like a love letter to the classic Superman. But we should note that Gunn's version of the Man of Steel isn't just a nod to the past because he intends to do something bold for the future of the DC Universe, where Superman would take center stage. In the poster, we can see David Corenswet, who will don the cape, soaring through the skies. His iconic red and blue suit pops against a stunning background, one that looks like a cosmic aurora, created from the colors that depict Superman's timeless appeal. Gunn also added a background score to the post, one that sounded hauntingly beautiful, and it was sung by a female vocalist in a mythic tone. Buckle up because the teaser trailer is about to be released this Thursday, 19th of December, and we're all going to be in awe, hopefully. When Gunn made this announcement, it was clear that we would have even more sneak peeks of the film in the coming months, building anticipation. The movie promises to break away from the grim and gritty Superman depictions of the 2010s. Instead, Gunn seems focused on recapturing the character's core essence: hope, optimism, and inspiration. Casting David Corenswet as Clark Kent and Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane signals Gunn's commitment to getting the character dynamics just right. Add Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, and you have a stellar lineup ready to bring fresh energy to familiar roles. But perhaps the most exciting aspect is Gunn's track record because he has proven himself in multiple instances, so if anyone can reimagine the superhero for a modern audience, it's certainly him.